Hello friends, welcome to Pharma English. This is Harki. Today we have to discuss about the topic called antibiotics. In this topic, we briefly discuss about what is antibiotics and what are the classifications are present in it and how they are get classified. Let's start. Antibiotics are the medicines that fight against the bacterial infections in both humans and animals. In simple terms, antibiotics is a type of antimicrobial substance which are active against the bacterial substance. They can work either by killing the bacteria or providing a tough to growth of the bacteria and inhibit the growth of the bacteria. This is simple explanations. Next, based on the actions, how the antibiotics are get classified. First type is bacteriostatic effect, and the second type is bactericidal effects. In bacteriostatic effect, this type of antibiotics only inhibit the growth and the reproduction of the bacteria. In bactericidal effects, the antibiotics kills the bacteria. At, based on the spectrums, there are two spectrums. One is broad spectrum antibiotics and another one is narrow spectrum antibiotics. In the broad spectrum antibiotics, it refers to they are act against a wide range of antibiotics. It's a wide range of bacteria, either gram positive or gram negative bacteria. In narrow spectrum antibiotics, they are act against the narrow range, whether it is only active against the gram positive or gram negative bacteria. Then general classifications. In this, there are penicillin type antibiotics, cephalosporins, tetracyclines, aminoglycosides, macrolides, quinolines, and sulfonamides. These are the general type of classifications. In penicillins, penicillin is a bactericidal effect antibiotics. In this penicillins, the medicines are penicillin V, penicillin G, amoxicillin, ampicillin, oxycillin, and diclohexalins are some of the examples. Then the cephalosporins, they can produce as the bactericidal effects. In this, cefaclor, cefdinir, ceftriaxone, maxipin, and cef are the examples. Next one is tetracyclines. Tetracyclines also produce a bacteriostatic effects, which means it inhibit the growth of the bacteria. Examples: doxycyclines, minocyclines, metacyclines, oxytetracyclines, meclocyclines. Another one is aminoglycosides. They can produce the bactericidal effects, which completely kills the bacteria. Examples for aminoglycosides are gentamicins, amikazins, kanamycins, streptomycins, tobramycins, and neomycins. Next, macrolides. Macrolides can produce both the bacteriostatic effect and the bactericidal effect. At lower concentration, this type of antibiotics produces the bacteriostatic effect, which means just inhibit the growth of the bacteria. At a higher concentration of dose, they can produce the bactericidal effects, which kills the bacteria completely. Example of this type is azithromycin, erythromycin, clarithromycin, telithromycin, and pyramycin. Next type is quinolines. Quinolines are the type of antibiotic which produces the bactericidal effects. Example for this type is ciprofloxacin, norfloxacins, ofloxacins, levofloxacins, moxifloxacins, and lamifloxacins. Next one is sulfonamides. Sulfonamides can produce the bacteriostatic effects. Their group belongs to the chemical classifications of the drugs. Example for this type is sulfamethoxazole, clotrimosoles, trimethoprime, sulfadiazine. These are the example for this sulfonamides. Next, we have see the classification based on the mechanism of action of the antibiotics. Based on the mechanism of actions, antibiotics are classified into four types. They are: first one, inhibition of cell wall synthesis; second, inhibition of cell membrane synthesis; and third type is inhibition of bacterial protein synthesis; and fourth one is inhibition of nucleic acid synthesis. These are the four types. First, nucleic acid synthesis. In this mechanism of action, the drugs are inhibiting the DNA synthesis of the bacteria. Folate synthesis, by inhibiting the folate synthesis by PABA. PABA is a para-aminobenzoic acid. The sulfonamides are the drugs which inhibiting the conversion of PABA into dihydrofolic acids. Another, the trimethoprim can inhibit the bacteria by converting the dihydrofolic acid into tetrahydrofolic acids. Another, quinolines can produce the action by DNA gyrase, which means the degradation of the DNAs, and rifampin can produce the action by the RNA polymerase in the DNAs. Another one is protein synthesis. Macrolides, clindamycins, linidazoles, and chloramphenicals and streptogramins are the examples of antibiotics which can bind to the 50S subunits of the ribosomes. Another one is tetracyclines and aminoglycosides can bind to the 30S subunits of the bacteria and inhibit the growth. Another one is cell membrane. Polymyxin is a type of antibiotics which inhibit the cell membranes by producing the damage in it. And the most common type is cell wall synthesis. The major class of antibiotics which involved is beta lactam, another is vancomycins. These are the two types of antibiotics which majorly involved in the cell inhibition of cell wall synthesis. Some examples are penicillins, cephalosporins, carbapenems, and monobactams. These are the types based on the mechanism of actions. Thank you.